right, good day, everybody. It is Tuesday, April the 12th, 2022. A lot of breaking news right now coming out of Brooklyn, New York, shooting and possible bombing. I'll get to that at the end of this broadcast. But first, I want to hit some of the other headlines. Hillsdale College. Now, we talk about this a lot on LWN. So, a conservative Hillsdale College fights the quote leftist academics, end quote, by expanding charter school network. What are they talking about here? Well, Hillsdale College, a conservative institute of higher education focused on teaching the Western tradition, is taking a stand against the leftist indoctrination of K through 12 education by opening a network of charter schools set on portraying America as a quote exceptional good country, end quote, as K-12 schools around the country have been exposed as centers for indoctrinating children into believing America is a systematic, racist, and irredeemable country. The small liberal arts college in southern Michigan is looking to take a leftist taking on leftist academics by partnering with states to develop charter schools in its academic tradition as an alternative. Now, if you remember correctly, the prior administration was trying to really push education to where you have a freedom of choice in education. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, Hillsdale College will be warmly welcomed in all 50 states as an alternative to the public school system that we have now. So let's read a little bit further. Indeed, Hillsdale developed the 1976 curriculum to combat all the other stuff that is being put out there by the public school system and the New York Times with the 1619 project, and critical race theory, something that the leftist school districts have injected into our classrooms, folks. This is going on. The college that Justice Clarence Thomas called the Shining City on the Hill. He wrote a document about this school and about the Constitution. Now, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, a Republican, to start 50 chartered schools, adding that its ranks of 24 schools in 13 states. Lee called Hillsdale's approach informed patriotism. So here you go, folks. If you guys want choice, if you guys want freedom of choice, Hillsdale's fighting back. Hillsdale College, if you guys remember correctly, if you guys email them, call them, they will send you a free pocket constitution. Now they are going a step further. They're taking it all the way to the top, and they are now going to start forming charter schools here in America, which honestly, if there's one anywhere close to me and my son, I will be putting him in that charter school. I want my son to get a great education and learn that America is exceptional, that America is a great country. Do we have our problems and our issues? Absolutely, just like any other country does. But America is still an exceptional country. So that was great news when I saw that article. Let's hit the next headline here. I've been grounded, end quote. 6 Marine pilots speak out against the sickness vacation mandate. What's this all about? I read the entire article. Listen, folks, they are attacking us at every area they possibly can, and our military and the military families are no exception to that rule. They are under attack with this tyranny, with this medical tyranny and mandates. Well, 6 active duty Marines are speaking out against the Biden administration's sickness vacation mandate in a video that was aired during an anti-vacation mandate rally in Los Angeles on Sunday. The video marks one of the most public displays of active duty service members of the opposition to the mandate, which, as ordered by the Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin last August. If you remember last August, he said they had until October to receive a vacation or there were going to be consequences. Well, in this video, 6 pilots, including the first female Marine F-35C pilot, speak out against the effect of their opposition to the mandate has had on their lives and their family. They are facing discharge from the military and loss of benefits and have faced some punitive measures. They've even gone as far as to taking away the transfer of education earned by our brave soldiers, men and women, that they have transferred to their children for their service. They're trying to take that education away from their kids. They're taking away these benefits of soldiers who have been in the military for 18 plus years. Top Gun pilots, colonels, lieutenants, you name it. They're all under attack, but they are standing up for what's right. What is their basis of this pushback? It's religious freedom. And if you remember correctly, when we're talking to the affidavit Mormons, they talk about religious exemption. Wrong. We're not asking your permission. We want religious freedom, not religious exemption. We don't need your permission. We're telling you right now to your face, because of our religious beliefs, we don't believe in this nonsense. We don't want no part of it, and we will not comply, and we do not consent. These 6 brave soldiers are standing up and pushing the line forward and letting the world know that they don't agree with these mandates. They have said on record, we have sworn an oath to the Constitution to fight against enemies foreign and domestic. And that's exactly what they're doing. All right, let's hit the next headline. Let's talk about what's going on with the UN. Listen to this. Pay attention, folks. This is what we're fighting against. The UN chief, Gertrude, backs Big Pharma plan to get vacations into arms of every person on the planet. Roll up your sleeve and wait. The UN Secretary General Anthony Gertrude backs a vacation to every person on the planet with the sickness vacation as a pharmaceutical industry guarantees 1.5 billion doses per month are now ready for global distribution. Yeah, it makes me sick to even talk about this stuff, but the leaders have committed to $4.8 billion to drive low income nations boosted vacation rates. So they're having a problem with people now taking it, and they're upset about it, and they're really trying to work hard to ensure that this gets done. Now, they are also fighting to get this in the arms of our children, folks. Listen to some of this stuff. Gertrude said, in order to reach the billions who have so far not received the sickness vacation, countries need to fulfill their accelerated dose sharing and donation commitments to the UN agencies and allies tasked with supplying the mass vacations. There is also a need to expand the range of people open to the vacations. Producers of Pfizer vacation, they're preparing to request a clearance. Now, listen to this, parents, a clearance to vacation your children 5 years and older. Do you think they're going to ask for your permission at school? I don't think so. I would be cautious of this, folks. They are targeting our children 5 years and up. What grade is that? That's kindergarten. That's kindergarten. That's as soon as they start school, they're going after these children. It's sickening. Anyway, I thought I would bring that to your guys' attention. I want you to really look at that and be aware of what's going on at your school. All right, next headline. Biden uses gun control announcement to renew false claim that early Americans could not buy a cannon. President Joe Biden expanded on his new rules for so-called, quote, ghost guns, end quote, on Monday and renewed his false claim that early Americans could not buy a cannon. Earlier on Monday, Breitbart News noted that the White House released a fact sheet as a precursor to Biden's speech. The fact sheet explained new rules requiring federal firearms license holders, which is the FFLs, to add serial numbers to unserialized guns taking into the possession. What are they talking about? Well, if guys like me Guys like you or women who choose to build their own firearms at home, talking about the ARs and the 15s. If you guys buy the upper and the lower and build your own without having a serial number on those weapons, and then you guys decide to trade them in or sell them to a broker, once that broker realizes there's no serial number on that firearm, they're now supposed to be required to put a serial number on that firearm. That's what that means. And they're calling this ghost guns. That's what they're calling this whole deal. So they're trying to really push for that. And of course, Biden has gone on record saying many, many times. For example, on February 3rd of 2022, Breitbart News did a fact check on Biden's claim that early Americans could not buy a cannon and found that claim to be false. Years earlier in 2020, there was also another fact checked in on Biden by making the claim that was also found false. So he goes around spewing out false accusations and false information constantly. And there are now fact checkers on the right that are going back and finding that these people are putting out false information. So, you know what? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. It's a two-way street here. So, here's another article that Joe Biden put importance to see gun makers' internal documents to scrutinize marketing of their deadly, quote, deadly products. So now they're wanting to scrutinize the gun makers and, of course, hold them liable for anything that happens that's involved with any kind of weapon that's manufactured. Does that even make sense? We talked about this a long time. It's common sense. We know that guns don't kill people, people kill people. But Biden was so proud for his so-called ghost guns agenda that he pushed on other gun controls and praised the Sandy Hook Elementary School families who sued Remington over the December 14th, 2012 Sandy Hook shooting. The gun used in the Sandy Hook was stolen. It was a stolen Bushmaster rifle, and Bushmaster owned by Remington at the time. So it was a stolen weapon in the first place. And how can the manufacturers of these weapons ever be held accountable? So the left is really pissed off because gun manufacturers at this point are not held responsible for that stuff. They have what they call an exemption to the law. But this clown has gone on record to say, here's what's so important. And this is Biden quoting. Remember, it wasn't until we saw the initial documents that we really understood what cigarette manufacturers are doing to our kids and to our families. Now we may begin to see what gun manufacturers are and are not doing when it comes to making and marketing their deadly products. So what he's talking about there is cigarette manufacturers had to release documentation on their research on what cigarettes do to the humans, to their lungs, to children. And so now they're wanting gun manufacturers to release their documents and on their manufacturing of their weapons, which what are you going to find? Seriously, they don't take weapons out and try them out on humans. This guy is beyond stupid. That's all I can say. All right, next headline. Let's look at this. I find it interesting. I've talked about this a couple times here at LWN. More hypocrisy. BLM claims $6 million California mansion bought for cultivating, quote, joy. What's that all about? Black Lives Matter recently purchased a $6 million California mansion for the purpose of cultivating, quote, joy, end quote, among the Black community, the organizers announced on Monday. Joy is a racial act, end quote, Black Lives Matter allegedly, as a practice and as an expense. Joy is something that can heal and sustain us while in times that are tough. But joy also provides opportunity to explore the possibilities beyond the limits of our daily lives. Now, why do I bring this up? Because if you read down further through the article, remember that I brought up the fact that the co-founder of Black Lives Matter purchased last year 4 brand new homes. Organizers should get paid for the work that they do, she says. They should get paid a living wage, she claimed in 2021. And she also said, and the fact that the right wing media is trying to create hysteria around my spending is frankly racist and sexist. Even though this lady went out and bought $4 million worth of homes in 1 year, that should just be her living wage. She is due that, folks. She has worked really hard in destroying America with BLM, that she deserves those homes. And frankly, we're just racist and sexist for even putting a spotlight on it and talking about it. Well, I'll tell you this. BLM is one of the most racist organizations in the United States history, end quote from LW. All right, let's hit the next headline. No background check for Elon Musk. He has decided not to join Twitter's board of directors. So I read this article. They're wanting him to do a background check. I really don't think that the background check is what really made the decision for him not wanting to join the board. But the tech billionaire Elon Musk has reportedly decided not to join Twitter's board of directors after becoming the company's largest shareholder. An odd statement released by the company's free speech hating CEO says that the board seat was contingent on a background check. What an odd statement. Now, if you guys think that Elon Musk is going to go in there and take over and give Donald Trump his Twitter account back, I don't know. Is it? I've seen a lot of headlines this morning where they're talking about Elon Musk doing a hostile takeover of Twitter. Now, these guys here have been putting out that no, nothing's wrong here. Everything's good. He was offered the seat. He's turned it down. But why has he turned it down? That's my question. Why has he turned that board seat down? Does he have something else in mind? I don't know. We'll stay tuned. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, here's the next headline. I talked about this yesterday. We'll talk about China. Criticism of the Shanghai lockdown meant to delude people into not fearing the sickness. Now, we talked about this yesterday. This came out on Sunday. Shanghai has done a complete lockdown in China, not allowing anyone out of their homes to go get groceries. There is claim that people are actually starving, not being able to go to the grocery stores and buy things. And from the photos that I'm seeing in this article, even if they could leave their home, there's nothing at the grocery stores to buy. Shelves are completely bare. Now, they have a zero policy in China right now. They want zero sickness. And so now they are upping their restrictions. They're upping their tyranny on the citizens of China and continuing this lockdown. In Shanghai alone, 26 million people are going into the third week of lockdown. Pay attention to this, folks, because I can tell you right now what I'm reading from the UN, what I'm reading from Dr. Flip Flop and Fauci himself and the WHO. They're trying to push some of that same agenda right here on our soil in America. So pay attention to that. All right, let's hit the big headline for the today. New York subway shooting. Suspects with gun, possible explosions, 5 wounded in this article from Breitbart. 5 people have been shot and injured in New York City subway system Tuesday morning, which is today, just prior to 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, according to emerging reports. NBC New York identifies the location of the incident as the Brooklyn subway station and notes that several law enforcement sources said that the shooter may have thrown a device before opening fire. Now, let me grab the tweet from Governor Kathy Hochul, whatever her last name is. I've been briefed on this deploying situation in Brooklyn. First responders are on the scene, and we have worked with the MTA and the New York Fire Department and the news centers to provide updates as the investigation continues. There wasn't much more in this article, so I bounced over and grabbed some stuff out of Fox. Brooklyn subway shooting leaves 16 injured. undetonated devices found by the FDNY. So the New York Fire Department found some devices. New York City Police confirmed shooting at Sunset Park, Brooklyn subway station. Let's read a little bit more on this article that just came out. The New York Police Department confirmed that the shooting took place in Brooklyn subway station Tuesday morning during peak commuting hours for employees headed to Manhattan. At least 6 people have been injured. Fox News has learned up to initially 13 reported. The NYPD spokesperson told Fox News that the shooting took place on the 36th Street station in Sunset Park in Brooklyn. The department would not immediately confirm how many people were shot or whether there were any fatalities. The suspect is still at large. New York Fire Department sources told Fox News that firefighters responded to a call from smoke at the DNR lines. Upon arrival, units discovered multiple people shot and several undetonated devices at same location. It continues to be an active scene right now. Let's see, what else do like I said, I just pulled this up. The law enforcement source told Fox News Digital that suspect is wearing an orange construction vest. Sources initially reported that suspect, a black male, was wearing what was believed to be an MTA uniform. He also last seen in a gas mask and carrying a book bag. NYPD counterterrorism units are responding to the scene, while additional units, including police canines and heavy weaponry, have been deployed to subway stations around New York, with high-ranking law enforcement sources added. The victims were transported to area hospitals, including NYU, Logan, and New York Presbyterian, Brooklyn Methodist. The Department of Education confirms that schools nearby will shelter in place. The NYU Logan said that it was treating a total of 8 patients from the accident, all of whom are in stable condition. The nature of the injuries vary from gunshot wounds to smoke innovation. The hospital said, without clarifying how many of the 8 patients treated at the faculty had been shot. Graphic photographs circulating Twitter Tuesday morning showing several people lying on blood-soaked floors of the station. One man applied pressure to what appeared to be another man's leg, wounded. Let's see. The NYPD Transportation Bureau struck down reports that the subway trains were stuck between stations. So that report seems to be false. Let me see what else I can pull up in here. Like I said, I've tried to get the most current, but it's still an ongoing scene, an ongoing investigation. It looks like the suspect is still at large. They're saying it's one of the biggest manhunts in New York to date right now, is what the article said. So officials hold news briefing at the Brooklyn subway shooting and a manhunt for the suspect. So there is an APB out in this guy. I don't know if any of you live in New York, but prayers to you guys. Stay safe out there. Stay informed. Keep an eye on this. It looks like schools may be going into lockdown. They will shelter in place. I'm sure the subways are shut down. A lot of stuff going on. So if there's anything else breaking, I'll jump back on and let you guys know what's going on, if they find the suspect or anything. So stay tuned here at LWN, because I don't know if I find out anything, I'll go ahead and grab that and put it out. Of course, I can't grab my screen now. It's caught halfway in between. Oh no. I guess I'm stuck here with you guys. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. I cannot grab the scene. All right, let's try it this way. Sorry, folks. I can't grab this. I'm stuck. You're here with me forever. There we go. All right, I got it now. We're good to go. I can get out of here. Maybe. Maybe not. This is funny. This is a good time. I don't even know how it's stuck like this. I can't say goodbye. You're here with me, so I guess we're going to have to just stay tuned.